No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It takes a minute.
It does.
Am I knocking on the table? Is that what we're doing?
No. Oh, when we're close to our time. Oh wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. All right. Hello, everybody. John's tired. All right. So I'm Quincy Wilson from Cummings & Company Realtors.
John Walt, Primary Residential Mortgage.
And I think this is episode, I want to say 15, 16.
Something like
probably
that.
Probably not important. Yeah. All right, so today we're going to talk about all the ins and outs and do's and don'ts and pros and cons of searching for real estate on the internet, which is obviously just ubiquitous and commonplace now.
Yep.
But I think there's some good tips. So before we get into that, let's just generally talk about the market. How do you feel about the market, John?
It is smoking hot. I mean, it is busier than it's been definitely all year, and I would say it's almost busier than it was this time last year, which was an absolute busy time.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I agree. Earlier too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the weather has sprung even though you're still wearing a sweater.
It was hard to gauge this morning.
Yeah. And, you know, once the weather breaks, the buyers come out.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been finding on your...
I mean, I think it's the same thing. I still think we're suffering from just a genuine lack of decent inventory. So, I mean, you know, not as a plug, but I think if you are ready to sell or even thinking about selling your house and you live in a decent neighborhood, there are so many buyers who have the ability to buy, who want to buy a house in a nice neighborhood. Put your house on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now's the time.
Even if you're just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about
Sure.
kind of, if you are a buyer and you're looking to buy a house and everybody starts online, give us some tips, where do you start? How do you do it?
So as a general buyer, I mean, obviously there's a million websites you can go to.
So for like a house,
Yeah,
if you're just looking for homes, what's the best website?
First of all, I would say before you even start online, I would say back up and do the pre-approval. Do a realistic search first. That's where I would say, because if you're not, you're going to fall in love with a house you can't afford.
Yep.
So that I would say back up, go offline, get the pre-approval, then go. Use, I would say, any site you want to. All right, if you're hooked up with a real estate agent, use whatever site they're recommending.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Okay, you just want to make sure that all the information you're getting from that site you vet through, your real estate agent, your lender, whomever you're working with, so that it's accurate. Not understanding the way these sites work is they feed from the local. They all feed from the local MLSs, which they can be delayed, 24 to 48 hours in some cases, and so their information may not be up to date. All right, so
cool. So I mean, so for a house search, I know everybody Google search engines, Zillow's the top one that always comes up.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then, for neighborhoods, if you want to do research on a neighborhood, is there a particular site?
I like livebaltimore.com. I think they're good.
But that's specific to just Baltimore City.
It's specific to Baltimore City,
Yep.
yeah. And I think, it's I think that's the best site.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first one that comes to my mind at least. If you want to kind of know the details about a certain neighborhood, especially from out of town. If you're local, you kind of you can get the feel. You can talk to people. I mean, nothing beats a good, honest in-person review of a neighborhood or a little enclave of a neighborhood or development. But if you're from out of town and you kind of need that overview, I think Live Baltimore is a great site.
Absolutely.
All right.
And then for agents, what do you use?
So honestly, I think that's where Zillow does shine. I mean, Zillow, it's kind of like a love-hate with Zillow, I feel like, but I think when trying to find an agent, that's where Zillow shines. You can go in there, you can find reviews, you can find stats, all this stuff, and I think, you can contact them and call them, set up meetings, do what you want to. But I know the reviews are great.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to start doing research there, starting with Zillow for agent research is not a bad place to start.
Is there another site where agents have reviews?
I think people are starting to use Yelp now, I see.
Okay.
On their own site, Google reviews
Yep.
is starting to pick up some cool, some traction now. So yeah,
cool. All right. So again, obviously, do your research.
Mm-hmm.
But the site, if you're looking at Baltimore City, as Quincy mentioned, Live Baltimore, and it's livebaltimore.com, is a great website to get information in Baltimore City,
Sure.
the different pocket neighborhoods. And also, for a lender's perspective, they also have a lot of grant programs
that's a good point. Yeah.
that you could look to see if you're eligible for. So, neighborhood-wise, Live Baltimore, Zillow, and what was the other site too that we always talk about?
HomeSnap, yeah. So
that was a good one.
Especially if you're mobile, HomeSnap is great. We're going to talk about sellers in a second here too, but I'll just kind of bring it up now. I think it's by far the best mobile real estate search site or search tool out there.
Better than Zillow.
Way better than Zillow. But it's better than anything. Now the only thing is you have to get the invite through a real estate agent, I believe. But it's a great tool. It's great for checking comps and stats, and you'll see all the same information a real estate agent will see, and it's tied directly to the MLS, and it's updated in pretty much real time as opposed to delay the other sites have.
Perfect. So, all right. So, as a seller, where do you start
So-
to verify value?
Sure, as a seller, I mean, I think the internet thing is, you want to check the value of your home.
Mm-hmm.
So you can obviously use, like places like Zillow and things for their, comps.
Mm-hmm.
I think their Z estimate is what it is. It's, sometimes not always the most accurate. I think any real estate agent worth, their weight, anybody that does any business, will either have their own kind of estimator tool, which seems to be a bit more accurate. But the best way is to do some agent research, find an agent who seems to know your area well, who either lives in the area, does some business in the area, and ask them for a CMA, which is basically a curated, put together search of your local market and your house. And even if they don't see your house right away, they can give you a general idea just based on comps, real-time comps, recent comps, same square footage, things like that, of what your house will sell. So if you're curious and want to use the internet, that's how I advise you to use the internet as a seller.
Yep. And a CMA just is a competitive market analysis. And that's what an agent could put together with comparable homes. It's almost like a mini appraisal.
Yeah, I mean, a lender's not going to take it for value, but
Yep.
it doesn't take very long to do. They come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. But at the end of the day, it's like what I would use too before I go on a listing presentation to determine what I would list your house for. I use the same tool.
Yep.
And
I know, obviously we talk about Zillow and a few other things. I know you work for Cummings and Company.
Yeah.
They have a really good website.
Sure.
And I know they put a lot of money and development into that. And I believe they have a search item on that
they do
too.
Yeah.
So, again, if you don't want to just use Zillow, there's a ton of different options. But again, the key is probably to get the drip email once you've identified an area from your real estate agent.
Yeah, I think, and Drippy, that's a good point to bring up. Like getting hooked up with somebody that can give you constant updates, and it's more than just new properties too. You want to know new properties. You want to know price changes. It's very important. You want to know, if there's something that you had your eye on and it was $10,000 over your price range. Well, maybe they're dropping now. You want to see that, but you also want to see stuff that's going under contract. You want to see stuff that's selling. So while you're searching, you want to be able to build up some information, have a general idea of what that market looks like, just like your real estate agent does. So you guys have the same information, and you can have an educated discussion about it.
Cool.
All right, I think that's it.
That was it.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
All right, so that was short and sweet, and we will be back in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.